Good morning friends, welcome back to Parnika tutorials. In this video, I want to discuss about access modifiers in Python such as public, protected and private. All these concepts I will discuss in detail with you. So I request everyone to watch the complete video for better understanding. First let me discuss what is a public, protected and private. Then we will discuss how can we create a public members, private members and protected members, then how can we access them. Now coming to the public members, the members of a class that are declared public are easily accessible from any part of the program. Suppose let's take that you have a class A. Okay, the class A has some variable called A and it is public. Okay, and you know that it is a class variable, and let's take that you have a method called display. Then let's take that you have written some print hi in it. Now creating an object, suppose let's take that I'm creating an object called S1 for the class A. Now using this S1 object, I can access the public variable. This is a class variable and even I can say that it is a public variable. Okay, or I can simply write public class variable because this is a public, and similarly this one is a public method. So a public member such as public variable and public methods can be easily accessible from any part of the program. Similarly, if I want to call the display method using the object S1, I can call the method called display. Then it will give me the output as, here it will give the output as 10 and here it will give the output as high. So by default, look at here, does I provided anything extra here? By default, the members are public. Is it clear? See, I simply written the variable name and assigned some value. I did not provide any information here. So by default, the members are public. Now let me discuss what is the protected. The members of a class that are declared protected only accessible to a class derived from it. So protected members you can access using the child class only, or from the child class only you can detect. Is it clear? Similarly, coming to the private, the members of a class that are declared private are accessible within the class only. See, this is more secured as compared to the public and protected. Public means anyone can access it. Suppose let's take that I have created one video. That video I upload in YouTube. Then it is public, everyone can watch it and everyone can download it. I cannot keep any restrictions on this one. Suppose let's take that I kept a protected, meaning is that I have created a video and uploaded, not uploaded, or I stored in a desktop in my home, and everyone know the password of the desktop. Then all my family members can go and access that video. Now suppose let's take that private. I have created some video. It is very private. I only want to watch that video. Is it clear? Then what I will do, I will store it in my computer. Now my laptop or my phone, no one knows the password. So I can only access it and I can only watch it. But hackers can always hack it. Am I right or wrong? So that is secondary. So problem here is that public, there is no security. Everyone can access. Protected is little bit secure. Meaning is that only the child class can access that one. If you are not derived or inherited, then we cannot access the protected members. Coming to the private, no one can access it. Is it clear? But Python is not that much strict. By using the name mangling concept, we can access the private members also. All these things I will discuss with you. Now let me discuss how can I create the protected members and private members. Already I have discussed that the variables and methods by default they are public. By default they are public. Suppose if you want to make it as a protected variable and protected methods, then you will write underscore variable name Similarly, underscore method name, then it will be act as a protected method. Coming to the private method, you can write underscore underscore double underscore then variable. Similarly, underscore underscore method, then it will become as a private members. So I hope you have understood. By default, all the variables and methods are public. If you want to make them as a protected, before that you need to write the underscore. If you want to make it as a private, double underscore you have to write. Now let me discuss the few programs related to the private, then I will go for the protected one. Suppose let's take that I am creating a class called class A. I am making a protected variable, not instead of protected variable. First, let me discuss about the private. So, I am writing underscore underscore variable and I am assigning some value. So, you know that this is a class variable and it is a private. So, I can say that it is a private class variable. Similarly, let's take that I am defining a method called display. Then I am writing self. Okay. Then I am writing print hi and I am writing print self dot underscore underscore a. Now look at here. Have we added any underscore underscore for this method called display? No. So this method, we can say that this is a public method. Now if it is a public method, you can access it in the entire program. So first what I will do is that I will create an object called S1 for the class called A. Then what I will do is that if I directly access S1 dot underscore underscore A, you know that normally if it is a public variable, we will access that variable with the help of object name dot and the variable name. But if I write the private variable like this, if I am trying to access with the help of an object, then it will give an error for you. So the meaning here is that private members you cannot access outside the class. You can access them inside the class. So that's why, see, I am accessing here. This will not create any error. The private variable you can access inside a class, but outside the class you cannot access. There are some restrictions. So this will create an error for you. How can I access the display method? As the display method is a public, I can access that one. So I will write s1 dot display. Then look at here. What will be the output you will get? In this scenario, this method will be called and you will get the output as high, and in the next line you will get the output as 10. So in this point I want to discuss that a private variable you can access inside a class but not outside the class. Now let me discuss if I have the instead of public method, if I am making it as a private method. Suppose let me modify the code little bit. I am writing underscore underscore before the name of the method, then this will become a private method and I am writing def because def is the keyword to define a function. Now if I write this statement also, s1 dot underscore underscore display, if I write this statement, now it will give an error for you because now this method becomes a private method. So we know that private members such as private variable and private methods can be accessed inside a class, not outside the class. Is it clear? Now you have a doubt, sir, how can I call this display method which is a private? That Python supports a concept called name mangling. Using the name mangling concept, you can access the private variable and private method outside the class also. Let me discuss that one. First, let me erase this one for you. So now if you want to access this one, or if you want to display the value of a, you can write print object name s1 dot single underscore class name, which is a, double underscore variable name. This is the syntax. So this concept we'll call it as a name mangling. So let me discuss again. This S1 is an object, underscore a, which is a class name, double underscore variable name. In this scenario, it will give the output as 10. Similarly, if you want to call the private method, same you can use object name, single underscore class name, double underscore display method. Then it will call the private method called display, and it will execute the statement. So first statement is high and the next statement is 10, because you are printing the value of a private variable. So this is what the private members. I hope it is clear for you. Now let me discuss about the protected members. So first what I will do is that I will create a class A. Okay, inside the class A, I want to create a protected variable. So I will write underscore A is equal to some value 10. Then I am defining a display method. This is also protected. Like, share and subscribe, or let me write only like and share. Obviously, if people started watching my videos, they will automatically subscribe. So now this one is what? A protected variable, protected class variable, because we have two types of variables, class variables and object variables. So protected variable, I can write this is a protected method. Now already we have discussed protected members cannot be accessed directly outside the class. It can be accessed through the derived class or the child class. So now this is a parent class. If I want to use the inheritance concept, I can have a child class B inheriting the parent class A. So this becomes a parent class, this becomes a child class, or this is a superclass, this is a subclass, or this is a base class and this is a derived class. Now let me write that I am writing, or I am not writing any statements, because that is not my objective. So I am writing pass. See, if I don't want to have any statements inside the class, I can just use the keyword called pass. Okay. Now look at here. If I want to access the variable A and display method, what I will do is that I will create an object called S2 for the child class called B. Now if I write the statement called print S2 dot underscore A, because this underscore why I am writing, because it is a protected variable. So it will give you the output as 10. Similarly, if you want to call the protected method, you can simply write object name dot underscore display. Then you are calling the protected method using the object of child class. Then it will give the output as like, share. So with this video, I hope you have understood what is an access modifiers, public members, protected members and private members, and how to create them and how to access them. For better understanding, I will discuss all these concepts in Jupyter Notebook for you. Now, let me create a class called A, and then I am creating a variable called A and assigning the value 10. Now, by default, all the variables and all the members are the public members, and it is a class variable. I hope you know what is a class variable and instance variable. If you don't know, I request you to watch my previous videos where I have discussed in detail about class variable and instance variable. Now let me create a method called display, and I'm writing a statement called print like, share and subscribe. Now you know that all the members by default, they are the public members. So it is a public method. Now look at here. If I'm trying to create an object called S1 for the class A, I can successfully do it. And also I can access the public members outside the class also. So here I am trying to print the variable A, which is a public variable. So I can access this and it will give an output as 10. Similarly, I can call the public method outside the class using the object for the particular class. In this case, it will give you the output as like, share, and subscribe. Okay, let me run the code. See, I'm getting the output as 10. In the next line, I'm getting like, share, and subscribe. I hope it is clear for you. So by default, all the members are the public members. You can access the public members outside the class in the entire program. Now let me discuss about the private members now. Now private members, you have to create by using underscore underscore and you assign the value 10. Now this is a private class member, means private, and it is a class variable. Now let's take that I'm creating a display method and I'm writing self. Now if I'm trying to access the private variable called A, that is allowed. Now why? Because this is a public method. Okay, look at here. I'm creating an object called S1 for the class A. If I write S1 dot underscore underscore A, meaning is that I want to try to print, suppose let's take that print, I'm writing S1 dot means I'm accessing the private member using the object called A. In this scenario, it will give an error for you. Look at here. You are getting an error called attribute error. A object has no attribute. A meaning is that it will not show to the public. Is it clear? Means outside the class you cannot access the private variable. Instead of this one, suppose let's take that I have written s1 dot display. Is this one is allowed or not? Yes, it is allowed because this is a public method. Now look at here. You are getting the output as 10. Why? Even the private member or a private variable you can access inside the class. So inside the class you are trying to print the value of A. So this is successfully done. Now if I want to modify the access specifier of the display method to a private, then I can write underscore underscore. Now this will be a private one. Okay, it is a private method. Now if I run the code, look at here, you are getting an error. A object has no attribute called display. I hope it is clear for you. Now let me discuss about the name mangling. Meaning is that you can still access the private members outside the class using the concept called name mangling in Python. Let me discuss that one. Print, I will write object name dot underscore class name A double underscore A, which is a variable name. In this scenario, you will get the output as 10. Similarly, if I want to access the display method outside the class, I can do it. So S1, which is an object dot and single underscore class name double underscore display. Then it will give you the 10 and 10 output for you. Okay, look at here. You got the output as 10 and 10 because this display is trying to print the value of the variable A. So using the name mangling, we can access the private methods or private members outside the class. Now let me discuss about the protected concept. Protected members. So first let me create a class called class A. Okay. Now I am creating a protected variable. So single underscore variable name, then it will become as a protected variable or protected member. Similarly, if I'm writing def display then I'm writing self, okay, and if I'm trying to print, okay, value of a, now look at here, this is what, this is a public method, okay. Now look at here, if I'm creating an object for the class A, then if I'm trying to access the display method using the object, then it will be successfully done and it will give the output as 10. Look at here. The point is that the protected members can be accessed inside the class, because inside the class A, you have created a protected variable, and that protected variable you are trying to print inside a class only. This is permitted. Suppose let's take that. Now this display, I am making it as a protected method. Okay. Then in this case, you will get an output or not. You will not get an output. You will get an error called attribute error. A object has no attribute called display. So protected variables or protected members you cannot access outside the class. You can access inside a class, and also you can access inside a child class. Meaning is that, let me create a class B which is a child class for the class A. Now if I write some statement called def show, or even I can write pass, but for better understanding, like share, okay. Now, if I create an object called S1 for the class B, you know that I can call the S1.show. It will give me the output as like and share. This is everyone know. But let's take that if I am trying to access the protected method inside a parent class, look at here, S1 dot display is giving an error. Why? We have not written single underscore here. Then it will give an output for you. See, you are calling the method using the object for the child class, okay, and it is doing what it is doing. It is printing the a value, so that's why you're getting the output as 10. Similarly, you can access the protected variable also. How you can write? Print s1 single underscore a, then it will give the output as 10 and 10, okay, because this one is already printing the value 10 and this is printing the value 10. So I hope you have understood about access modifiers in Python, such as public, protected and private. Still, if you have any doubts related to this concept, feel free to ask me in the comment section. I will try to clear your doubts as early as possible. Thank you for watching the complete video. Have a nice day.